Hey babies, thanks for tuning into my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Today is going to be a story time.
A crazy story.
First story time on my channel. Yeah, I'm a little nervous because I don't know, it's a story time. I don't know. But I have my friend Sue here with me.
Yes.
She was actually there during the story time, so that's why I thought it was appropriate. That way we can kind of like feed off of each other and
it brought us closer after.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. This is by the title and the thumbnail, I'm sure you can tell it's a story time about my crazy ex-boyfriend or my crazy ex-situationship. Situationship,
shall we
that's
say.
what it was. Yeah, but yeah, if you want to hear about the time that my ex-boo went crazy, then keep on watching and let's get into the video. Bye. Oh wait, disclaimer. In no way am I condoning domestic violence or it's funny or anything like that, but it's a situation that happened to me and this is how I'm talking about it. I'm fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just had to say that.
And we have to laugh about the moment.
Exactly.
At the time it
got
wasn't
hurt.
funny.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Of course not, no. But yeah, this is years later, so I can laugh about it now. And,
All
right, so yeah, we're getting to the video of the story time. I'm gonna give you a little like background history, whatever. We have our wine here, of course. Cheers. We have a little hookah, so yeah. All right, so I can't believe I'm doing this. Anyways, boom. This is like 2019, like October 2019.
Yeah, October, like I'm up for homecoming.
Right, so me and Sue actually met September 2019 around my birthday. Well, we met before that, but we like
met in college, but we started hanging out
around my
a week before
birthday.
her birthday.
Right. So yeah, so put that in perspective. September we became like real cool. October we started going out and stuff. All right, boom. Background story. Of course we're gonna use fake names.
What are we gonna call him? Joe?
Joe for old boo?
Yeah, the old boo that. Yeah.
All right, old boo. His name is Joe, so we're gonna call him Joe. All right. Me and Joe. A little background history. We met on Instagram. He was super cute. You know, that's what I thought. He slid into my DMs. We started going out on dates, and then we just got real close, real fast. We started hanging out all the time. You know, spend the night, all that stuff. Right? Boom. Joe was the type of nigga like he would like go MIA for like days, weeks at a time.
He's one of those.
Yeah, so it's like we're talking, we're supposed to talk every day. If not, what are you doing? Who are you with? Like, I don't do that.
Who else are you entertaining?
Exactly.
Like,
so if we don't talk for days, weeks at a time, we're not together. Like at that point, it's just like, oh, like yeah, we mess around sometimes, but
yeah,
that's all it's gonna be, you know. So I'm not taking you serious like that. So
she gotta sip.
Is it still hitting?
Yeah.
All right, so you know, hanging out, going real heavy. Actually, before I get into that, so actually, yeah, okay. I'm not good at stories. Anyways, we were hanging out, we're getting heavy before he goes MIA, you know. He would still kind of go MIA for a few days here and there, but we were so good. One time, you know, I spent the night at his house. The next morning, I can't. Okay, so I don't even know what I'm saying here. Okay, so before I met Joe, right, there was this dude that I was talking to on and off for a long ass time, like before I met Joe, before I even know who Joe was. We're gonna call him
John
and Joe, right? So I met John first. We were, you know, same little situation, except for it wasn't like we were ignoring each other. It was like we're just really cool and we'd talk on and off for like a year plus at that point when I met Joe. So one time when I was at Joe's house, he saw that John? What do we name him?
John, yeah.
Okay, one time when I was at Joe's house, he saw that John texted me good morning, right? Which I didn't know that he saw that. And meanwhile, he doesn't know this, but I actually told John, like, you know, we can't really hang out or talk like we used to because I met this guy, I really like him, da da da. So I cut it off. But randomly, he just texted me good morning, right? Joe sees this, has a fit about it, whatever. He's like, who is this nigga? Show me him. Who is he? And you know, me trying to be honest, I'm like, oh, like he's this guy I used to talk to, but I deaded that, you know, no worries, no issues. And I hadn't seen him or really talked to him, so you know, I wasn't lying, I was trying to be honest. Fast forward we go to the club.
Oh yes.
Me, Sue, and her sister T, we like a trio. We go to the club, right?
This is before we even knew her drama or what was going on. Let that sink in.
Right. So they don't have any idea. I don't even have no idea what's going on. So before we go to the club, this is like weeks later. Joe, like I said earlier, he likes to go MIA. He doesn't call, text, days, weeks at a time. So at that point, we hadn't talked for like 2 weeks, like straight, like no communication at all. So in my head, I'm like, we're done. We're not talking. I don't know what he's doing. He don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, bye. Exactly. So we go to the club, whatever. And John is there at the club. So of course, like me and him are so cool. We have no issues. So, you know, I say hi. We get in the club. Mind you, John is in a section over here. Me, Sue, and her sister, we end up being a section, like 2 sections over.
So it's like an L shape.
Exactly.
So he's on the end.
He's like on the tip of the L, and we're on like the other in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So we're dancing, having fun. At this point, I'm like lit. Like it was kind of like dry at first, but then we got Patron shots. We were in the section.
It was a lit night.
Guys were giving us drink. You know, like we were having a fun ass time, right? So then, next thing you know, I'm just like I'm standing on the back of the couch, and I'm like yes,
living our best life.
You know. And I see someone like reach up, like one of the dudes in the section, he like taps me, he's like,
excuse me, like you're in trouble.
and I'm like,
huh?
Trouble? Like what? And I see Joe standing in the middle of the section of the club, and he's like
get your ass down here, giving her the death stare.
yeah, as if he's like my boyfriend or something. But you know, I'm lit. Like I said, I'm single. We hadn't talked. I wasn't talking to the other dude. Like I was talking to nobody. So I was like excited to see him. You know, like I'm tipsy. I see this dude I used to talk to. I'm excited to see him. You know. So I like get down out the section. I'm like on him. We kiss in the mouth.
I didn't even know that.
Yes,
I
like
was too busy.
yeah,
doing
exactly.
something else.
So we kiss, we hug. I'm like all up on him. I'm like excited. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy you're here. Da 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 da. You know. And he's like, oh, okay. And the very first thing he says
Is that's him?
And you know what he looked like?
I showed him.
Oh, you showed him? I'm like, oh, he.
So no, because he was pressing me about the good morning text, and so because I was like willing to do that with him, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna show you who he is. Like, you know, we don't talk no more. I did it, whatever. So I showed him who he was. I didn't like give him all this information. He's seen the name because the name saved in my phone, and then I showed him a picture of who he was, right? So he's like, oh, that's him, and I'm like, what? And it was like, I'm like, oh my fucking god. But at this point, still, I'm like, I didn't come here with him. You know, it was just like I didn't set this up, and me and Joe haven't talked in weeks before that.
Exactly.
So no issue.
She came with her girls.
Right, I came with my girls, and I was in the section, a totally different section. So it was like, I felt like if I wanted to be with him, I would be in the, you know.
You would have been over there.
Right, he would have came in and saw us hugged up with each other. But anyways, yeah. So fast forward,
the night's
club
over.
ends,
Yeah.
right? Night is over. I see Joe again. He's like, come home with me. I'm about to drop my friend off. Like, you were gonna link up, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, all right, like, you know, I'm gonna be there, whatever. Call me when you're done.
You know, when we get that text.
Right, that, you up, you ready text? So,
Lord.
we're leaving the club, right? We're leaving the club, and like I said, section, John's right here, I'm like right here, so there's like plenty of sections in between us. So I'm walking out.
He was at the section right by the exit.
Yes,
yeah,
right. John was at the section right by the exit. So when I'm walking out, I'm like saying bye. So I like reach my, like honestly, this is a blur, so we can like fill in where we can. I don't even know if this is 100% accurate, but this is my perspective. So I like reach up to him because it's like a level up on the section when you're walking out, and I'm like bye. I like hug him, like I shake
like
his hand.
I think it was like a little side hug.
Yeah,
like,
it was,
like,
and it wasn't even that because it was like so far up.
Yeah,
yeah. So I was like bye, And I think he was like trying to pull me around to give him a hug.
Yeah.
But I didn't even get to that point, right? So as I'm like saying bye, I felt like a nudge. And mind you, so like the section is right here by the door, and the door, I'm walking out the door. So I feel like a nudge. And it's Joe.
Crazy
like,
Joe.
He starts spazzing out, like, what the fuck? Like, he's trying to fight the dude. And I'm just like,
bro, I'm just saying bye. Like,
for one, like, I know that we were like hugged up or whatever, but I haven't talked to you in weeks, so we're definitely not in a relationship. Even if you feel some type of way, you can't be that upset, you know?
Yeah. You're just saying bye.
Right, I'm saying bye. Just like,
and you wasn't with John at all the
exactly,
whole night, so.
right, exactly. So he like nudges me, he's trying to fight the dude or whatever, and then it's just like a blur. Because at this point, I'm toast, like I'm done. I barely remember blur vision. And so I'm trying to grab him, and I'm like trying to, you know, grab him, and the next thing you know, it's like,
next thing, we're outside, and then Crazy Joe just takes his hand and just mushes Jazz from the back.
Yeah, like in my back though. And yeah. Anyways, so yeah, he like basically, how I felt is like I had on heels, I'm lit. He like pushes me like this, like a get the fuck off of me.
And then Jazz is so drunk, so she just goes flying to the floor.
Yeah, so I fell, guys. I fucking fell outside of the clip.
That's when all hell broke
loose.
Just
like, it was like a switch. Like,
me and my sister immediately just went on go.
So I'm like crying, and at first I fell, and I'm just like, I just remember laying around like
did he just really push me?
Like I'm in shock that this nigga put his hands on me in any type of way. To this day, he'll say that he wasn't like pushing me, but it was more like I was trying to like grab him, like no, you know,
like, stop.
And he was just like, stop, like get off of me, and then I fell.
When you're drunk and you like do a little force,
it's like I'm small, like I'm small. He wasn't big, he was taller than me, and he's like heavier than me, and he's a nigga, like he's strong. So I, you know,
what he thought was a soft push was like not a soft push, because we're little. All
right. So I fell, I'm laying there and whatever, security guards like, help me up, are you okay? And at this point, it's like, I don't know if it was like his friends, like plus security was like pushing Joe out. Yeah. And John is also trying to come down out of the section, and I'm like, oh my god, it's about to be like a fight or something.
A brawl.
I like, if you know me, you know that I don't like to be in any drama. I do not like confrontation at all. So this was like a lot for me, and I was like intoxicated. So
I kind of love it.
Her and her sister. Oh, meanwhile, so remember, we just kind of started hanging out, but they like had my back so full. It's like they were going harder than me. Like I'm in front of like,
she's crying. I'm like, oh, you made my sis cry.
Yeah.
So we like, just start going crazy, cause we took our heels off. My sister took her heel and beamed it at him across the street, and he like dodged it just in time.
Yeah.
Security guard was holding us back, like we were really trying to fight him because of what he did to her. And I'm like, and you got her crying, and Jazz is like the sweetest person. Like if you meet her, it's like, why would you do that?
Right.
Fast forward, my sister finds her way back in the club to one of the section and gets like an empty Hennessy bottle, because at this point she's ready to. Yeah, I don't know where you were at. So my sister takes the Henny bottle and hides it behind her back. Like, oh, I'm just leaving. I'm just walking out. When really she was gonna go hit him with it.
No, I didn't know this.
So the owner sees and he snatches from her like chill out. We don't need that at our place. Like chill out. Like I understand y'all upset, but just let them go. Let it cool out. But
right. So at this point, like him and his friends, his friends, so they at the car or whatever, and you know they don't really know what's happening, so they're kind of like on his side, and I don't even know if they knew that I fell at this point, or that
I think they just thought it was like John and his friends.
Yeah, they just thought him was trying to fight me with another
like,
dude type of situation, but that was not it. And so yeah, like he was going crazy, and I'm like, all right, well, you know, maybe I can diffuse the situation, like let me talk to him, whatever. But then nobody would let me like go over there.
They wouldn't. They were holding us back.
Yeah, they actually let us back in the club. They wouldn't let us leave because they had like guns. Like they were like threatening to shoot us.
Because me and my sister have a potty mouth as well. So
they're like, my brother's coming to beat your ass.
I don't know what really was exchanged, but whatever we said really got them like going crazy. So they went to the car to get their strap, because they thought we had dudes with us to get their strap, but that's not what we were trying to say. We're just saying, like, if you put your hands on me, like, I'm gonna call my brothers to handle it. Like, I'm not fighting a dude.
Right.
That's what we were trying to say, but everyone's drunk. They just hear guys fight, guns, and they're like, oh, I'm running to my car to get my gun.
Exactly. Like, what are we gonna do? What are 3 girls gonna do to these like 6 men?
6 guys. All over 6 feet tall. Like, we're not.
Yeah, he was really drunk though, and not saying that that's an excuse, but we were all just like high on emotion and alcohol. And
we all laughed about it later on.
Yeah, we did. So, and then after that, so basically, you know, they ended up leaving. Once they cleared the parking lot, security walked us to our car, made sure we were safe. My guy friend, he was in the car with me, and I was just like boo-hoo crying. He probably thinks I'm crazy to say. Shout out to you. And he was just,
oh my god, we really were crying. And then we go to the gas station, all that stuff.
Yeah,
so all crying like.
So we went to the gas station, got gas, and then we went to a hookah bar.
We
right?
We did?
Yeah.
We did. It was such a blur, but it was
fun.
We
went to the bar, and we actually saw one of the friends that wasn't there, but he knew about the situation. And so, you know, we were just like venting to him like, your friend acting wild, da 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 da. And I told him the real story of what happened, because this man was not telling it right. Like, he's like, oh, she was hugged up with some dude
and the guy
in my face.
Like,
yeah. And I'm like, even if I was, we're not together. I haven't talked to you in weeks.
He texts me every 2 weeks.
Right, so, you know, I can do what I want. Even if I did want to be with John or any other nigga in the club for that matter, I could do that.
Okay. You didn't put a title on it.
Right, you know. And he was already nuts because, without getting into it too much, he was telling me shit that he did to his ex-girlfriend, which should have been a red flag. So, I didn't listen. Yeah,
always
he's crazy.
Listen to your first instincts. If you see a red flag, don't keep looking for more.
Exactly. So I should have known anyway, and yeah, he was just nuts. It was a crazy night. It was like, probably sounds so much like less crazy as retelling it, but I promise you it was wild.
The craziest night. That's when we bought his clothes, like, cause she called her mom. Her mom was like, who's there with you? Do they have your back? And then she's like, yeah, they went in. They're like wilding more than me. Like, cause Jack's like, it's okay, guys, just don't worry about it. We're like, no, that's unacceptable. Like, no.
Cause you guys know, like, when you go out with like new girls or like just girls in general, sometimes like you don't know. That's why girls, you have to be safe. Go out with people that you trust and that you know, because any situation can pop off and you don't know who's gonna have your back. And thank God they had my back in that moment, because they didn't really have to. You know?
I don't care who you are. If I see like a guy putting his hands on a female, I'm just gonna attack. Like, I'm not one of the bystanders that's gonna like, oh, it's none of my business. Like,
yeah, and we came together like. And we've been like inseparable. Yeah, we've been inseparable ever since.
That would have been fucked up. We're in the same car and I'm just like watching and laughing like, oh well, that's your business. Like, that's grimy as fuck. Like,
you probably wouldn't be going.
No.
Yeah, it was wild. And we did, like, you know, me and him had a conversation way after that, and we have 2 different perspectives on what happened. He swears he didn't push me, but yes, I've seen other incidents after that to show that he's fucking nuts.
Like, me and my sister, we just took a pause. Like, we looked at each other like, no, he didn't just do what we think he did.
I just couldn't, because it happened like from the back. It's like I didn't. It was
like you were walking a little bit ahead of us.
Yeah, like I'm like, oh come on, and then it was like
and he's like, who? And then I just see Jazz go, and everything happened in slow motion. So she's going like. In slow motion.
So like, I think I was like more upset that I was like embarrassed. I'm like,
because everyone's out. You know, after the club, everyone likes to hang around outside. So it's like everyone's seen this shit.
It was horrible. But I mean,
we can laugh at it now. At the time,
it wasn't funny. It wasn't even funny shortly after that.
No. It took us like 2 weeks to finally start laughing about the situation, because every time we talked about it, it made us upset.
I was pissed. I was like traumatized after that. But yeah, now we can laugh about it. It's like, what, 2 years since now? Or almost 2 years?
Almost, yeah, this summer will make it 2 years.
I've moved on way since, literally. But yeah, cute little short story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we probably have some more stories that we could tell. So if you like the video. Oh my god. And the short one with the waitresses.
Yeah. We have a lot. Okay.
We were going out a lot, like almost every night, or
starting
at least
from
3 times a
Tuesday
week.
to Sunday.
Exactly.
Like,
and at least Thursday through Sunday. We was out.
Literally after that incident, Jazz like, what do you want to do? We just hung out every day.
We was going out.
Every day. What do you want to do? Let's go.
Right. So if you guys like the story time, smash the like button for me, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn your bell notification on so you don't miss when I post. And thank you so much for tuning in to another video. I love you, my babies. Thank you for supporting me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.